starting off in standing, feet about hip width apart and in parallel. Just spread the toes, feel equal weight through the feet, and just holding on to those weights, not too tightly, and just feel the weights drawing the arms and the shoulders down the back. Lengthening out through the top of your head, stacked through the spine, balanced over your feet, and just taking some deep breaths, breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Try and let go of any tension that you might have before you start, so really try and relax the shoulders. And if already you're feeling that there's tension in your hands, then maybe pop the weights down. If you feel it's going to be too much, especially if you've been sat over a desk or anything today, then you might need to just get those shoulders moving first and then add the weights. So with your next breath out, just gently drawing in through the center, engaging abdominals, because we want a nice stable base to work from as we start to add the weights into the movement. So focusing those eyes straight ahead, gently drawing in through the center, taking a breath in, and as you breathe out, just curl those weights up slightly, bringing the arms into a right angle. Breathing in as you draw those weights back down, and breathing out again as we curl the weights in. Breathing in to release, breathing out as we curl. So just starting to mobilize some of the joints and warm up the arms, taking the weights down, and now turning those weights to face forward. Similar movement, breathing in and out to bring those weights up roughly into a right angle again, and breathing in to lower. Breathing out to curl the weights up. Breathing out to take them down. Just two more. Breathing out and breathing in. One more time. And taking it down. Again, just turning those weights to face in towards you. And if you need to, repeat that level again. Keep it small. Any issues with your shoulders, stay at that low level. This time we're going to float the weights all the way up. So staying stable through the spine, breathing in and out as we start to float the weights all the way up. If you can, above the head. Try and avoid disturbing the spine. Gently drawing in through the center. Breathing in as we start to float back down. Nice and slow. Don't move too fast. And then breathing out when you're ready to start floating up again. Mobilizing those shoulders on the back. Breathing in as we lower. Two more from here. Breathing out as we float up. Try to avoid lifting the shoulders up around your ears. Staying stable through the spine. And don't let gravity take over. So slow it down. Work against it. The slower you go, the harder you have to work. Lovely. Finish that last one. Turning the weights forward again when you're ready. Same movement, coming out to the side. Breathing in and out. Floating the arms out to the side and all the way up if you can. Breathing in as we come all the way back down. And breathing out again to float up when you're ready. Feel the shoulder blades moving on the back. Breathing in to come down. Breathing out to come up. Again, staying nice and stable. Just take it as far as you can. Keep it small if you need to. We're going to do one more. Floating it down when you're ready. Keeping those weights facing forward, we're going to come into a bicep press. So first of all, we're going to bicep curl, bring those weights all the way in towards the shoulders. And now turn the weights to face forward as you reach up towards the ceiling. Drawing them back down and turning them back in to face you. And uncurl all the way back down. Nice and slow on the way down. So we're going to breathe in to curl in. Breathing out to turn forward. Breathe in as we reach up. Breathing out as we come down. Curl back in. And then releasing nice and slow on the way down. Just 2 more. Curling in. Breath per movement. Turn forward. Reaching up. Coming back down, turn the weights back in, and uncurl, nice and slow. Lovely, 1 more. Feel those arms and shoulders getting a little bit warmer now. Find it nice and warm. I've done this 3 times already today. And I did painting and decorating at the weekend. That was a mistake. Feeling those shoulders. Lovely. Finish that last one all the way down. We're now going to turn those weights to face behind you. And coming into our gentle chest expansion. So just take the arms slightly in front of you first of all, just in front of the hips, very slightly. And I'll do the movement and then talk through the breathing in a moment. So we're going to just take the arms back behind us, just gently press back through the hands, feel open across the chest. And now hold it there, turn the head to the right, and then to the left, and then release and float the arms forward. So take a breath in to prepare. Breathing out as you take it back. Hold it there. And now breathe in as you turn to the left first. And then the right. And exhale to release. 2 more. Breathe in. And out to push back. Breathing in, turn to the right. And then the left. And breathing out to release. 1 more. Breathing in and out. Pressing it back. Breathing in, turn to the left and then the right. And breathing out to release. And just have a little roll of those shoulders. And you should feel a bit warmer. We're going to bring ourselves down into high kneeling. So just slowly lower yourself down. If kneeling is difficult, then feel free to stay standing if that feels easier. Or if you just need a bit of extra padding, use a rolled up towel underneath your knees. Or a pillow if it's not going to be unstable. So holding onto those weights either side. Legs about hip width apart. And just check your alignment again here, just like you would in standing. Stacking yourself over the legs, pelvis, rib cage, and head, gently drawing in through the center. So avoid pushing the hips forward or hinging and sticking your bottom out behind you. We're going to come into a nice side reach. So we're going to release a bit of tension through the sides of the body. We're going to breathe in as we float one arm up. Draw that shoulder down, so keep it relaxed. As you breathe out and almost feel that you lift yourself up and over into that side bend and feel this resting arm almost reaching down towards the floor. Hold it here as you breathe in and then breathing out as we restack and float the arm all the way down. Same on the other side. So we breathe in, floating up, relax that shoulder down the back. Breathing out, feel that you lift and reach over. Arm reaching down towards the floor. Breathing in and out. Restack and float it down. We're going to do 4 more. Breathing in to reach and breathing out to come over. Holding it there, breathing into the side of the body. And breathing out, restack and float it down. And again, breathing in. And out. Hold it there. And breathing out. Float it down. 1 more on each side if you can. Put the weights down for the last 2 if you need to. Or holding on if you can. Lovely. Last one. Breathing in. And out. Look at that. We're all synchronized. Perfect. Breathing in. And out. Restack. Float it down. Lovely. We're going to come into all 4s from here. So just pop your weights either side of you for a moment. If you need to, use a rolled up towel underneath the wrists and just organize yourself with hands underneath shoulders, knees underneath hips, finding your neutral for a moment. You're only going to need one weight, so place it underneath you because it's a little bit easier to grab if it's there underneath. And just finding neutral, so lengthening out through the top of the head, out through your tail. Let's just take a breath into the rib cage. And as you breathe out, just gently drawing in through the center, engaging abdominals. Again, so we've got a nice stable base to work from. We're going to work the triceps, so the back of the arms. Taking the weight in your right hand and drawing the weight up in towards your waist. And feel that you're lifting out of the left shoulder. Breathing in and out as you extend the arm back behind you as if trying to reach the weight up towards the ceiling. Breathing in as you fold back in and breathing out again as we extend out behind. Breathing in as you fold in and breathing out to extend. Breathing in to fold in and breathing out to extend. Folding back in and place that weight back underneath you and place the hand back onto the floor. So we're going to do the same on the other side, going for 4 tricep extensions. So in your left hand, drawing that weight in towards the waist, lifting out of the right shoulder, breathing in and out to extend the arm out behind. Breathing in to fold in, breathing out to extend behind. Breathing in to fold, breathing out to extend. One more time. Feel the back of the arm working. Finish that last one. Weight underneath you and place that hand back onto the floor. So we're just going to add a little bit more stability work now. So working from the center a little bit more. So we're just going to send one leg away. So let's lengthen the left leg out behind us. Tuck the toes under. Feel length through the back of the leg. Try and keep the hips nice and level, gently drawing in through the center. We're going to take the weight again in our right hand, and we're going to do our 4 tricep extensions again in this position. So breathing in and out to extend behind. Breathing in to fold, breathing out to extend. Breathing in to fold, breathing out to extend. So now you're having to work on your stability a little bit more. One more. Folding in, weight down, and then bring hand and knee back underneath you. And we'll do the same on the other side. Right leg lengthening away. Tuck the toes. Again, nice and level through the hips. Drawing in through the center. Weight in your left hand. Drawing in towards you. Breathing in and out to extend behind. Breathing in to fold in, breathing out to extend behind. 2 more. Staying stable, drawing in through the center. Finish that last one. Weight down, hand and knee back underneath you. And now coming into a little bit of release for those shoulders because you've done a lot of work already. So this is called a press and release. Avoid it turning into full flexion of the spine. So try and really focus on just working the shoulders on the back of the body. So take a breath in. And as you breathe out, try and gently press up into your shoulders. Feel them gently round and spread across the back. And then as you breathe in, start to sink the chest down in between the shoulders towards the floor and feel the shoulder blades draw together on your back. Breathing out again as you press up into the shoulders and breathing in as you release into the shoulders. Breathing out to press and breathing in to release. 3 more. So feel the shoulder blades gliding on the back. This is a really lovely movement. If you've been working from home, sitting over a computer, this is a great one to do. And it's quite subtle, but it does a lot of work. shoulder blades drawing together, shoulder blades opening, spreading across the back. One more time. And just settle back into neutral. Move your weight out the way if it's still underneath you, and you can sit yourself all the way back to rest position. And if you need to, just take a moment to roll off the wrists because you've done a lot of weight bearing. So roll it off. Grab a pillow for behind the knees if you need to, or underneath your forehead, and just take some deep breath. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. Letting that breath expand into the back of the rib cage. And with your next breath out, just slowly start to roll yourself up. So tuck the tailbone underneath, stacking yourself over the pelvis, rib cage, and head on top, just briefly sitting. And we're going to come around onto our side. You'll just need one of your weights. And we're coming into what's known as a side twist. Quite a lot of work, so I will demonstrate and I'll give you a lower option. So tuck the feet back, roughly in line with your pelvis. Maybe line yourself up with the back edge of the mat. If you need to, have a rolled up towel or a pillow underneath your forearm because you're going to prop yourself up on that arm. So if you need a little bit of padding and support, grab something to have underneath you. Make sure your elbow is underneath your shoulder. So you've got this nice alignment of the joints. You don't have the arm off at a funny angle. So underneath, feel that you're lifting out of the shoulder, out of the floor. So draw the rib cage up slightly. And you're just going to take your weight in that top hand. And if I demonstrate the lower option and then the full option, then you can give it a go, whichever you feel you'd like to. So with the lower level, you're just going to reach and keep the hips down. Reaching up and then threading it through, gently rotating. The full level is lifting the hips and then threading it through. Okay? So keep the hips down if you want to, or add the lift. It's quite a lot of work to the shoulder and your supporting arm, so just go careful. So if you want to, full level, we're going to lift the hips and reach that arm up towards the ceiling. Take a breath. And as you breathe out, we're going to thread it through, gently rotate the spine. Breathing in as you reach up, lift the hips. Breathing out, thread the arm through. Breathing in as we reach up. Breathing out as we thread it through. Number 4 coming up. Let's go for 8. Reach and lift the hips. Thread the arm through. Keep it going. Use that breath. Breathing out, thread it through. Keep it going, you can do it. Last couple. So we're not just working the arm, we're working the waist, we're working the spine. It's a big movement. Last one. Last reach. And lower the hips, lower the arm. And just come up and have a little roll off of that supporting shoulder. Quite a lot of work. Have a little roll around with that arm. And we're going to come down onto our side now. You'll still need your weight. So we're going to stack the legs again, but now just bring those shins forward. So bring those legs into more of a right angle now. Lengthen yourself out. Feel free to use a pillow or something in between your head and your arm. So you can use a weight here again if you want to. We're going to work into the rotator cuff muscles around your shoulder. So if you've had any injuries here before with your rotator cuff, go careful. Maybe leave the weight for this one if it feels too much. So just lengthening through the waist for a moment, a little bit of lift in that underside and gently drawing in through the center. Holding onto your weight and just tucking that arm in alongside you. We're finding a right angle with the arm, and you should have your weight parallel to the floor. So this is where you need to really focus on your wrist alignment, that you're not dropping the wrist down and in towards your tummy or flicking the wrist back behind you. It's all coming from your shoulder. So starting parallel to the floor, take a breath in and breathing out as you gently rotate to open that arm, but not too far. Don't let the shoulder drop back behind you. Breathing in as you come back parallel to the floor and breathing out again as we gently rotate and open. Breathing in as you return to face the floor and breathing out again to gently rotate. Good. Breathing in to face the floor. Breathing out as you gently rotate. 4 more if you can. If it gets too much, have a rest, let go of the weight. Does a lot of work, this one. For some of you, I can just see a hand appear and then disappear again. I can see that you're doing it though, great. So watch that your wrist isn't flicking back as you open. Keep that good alignment. Last one. And now take that weight, place it on the floor, have a little rest, roll that shoulder again if you need to. Pop the weight to one side and we're just going to slowly roll onto our back from here. Make sure that you have a weight either side of you, because you'll need them again in a moment. But let's just find our neutral alignment once more. So tucking those feet in towards you. Feet and knees hip width apart and in parallel. Just drawing down through those 3 main body weights. Pelvis, rib cage and head. Just letting yourself settle into the floor. Finding the natural curve in your lower back. Just letting the arms rest for a moment, relax the shoulders. Just take a couple of deep breaths in. As you exhale, gently drawing in through the center. So really important as we start to add load that we are working from a strong center. So if you feel as though you are losing that centering, maybe take the weights away or just reset yourself and start again. So gently drawing in through the center, feeling engaged through the abdominals. We're going to take the weights in the hands, float the arms up above you to come into shoulder drops. So have the weights facing in towards each other, shoulder width apart, so stay open across the chest and just check that you haven't arched the upper spine off the floor. So draw down through the back of the rib cage, pelvis in neutral. Let's take a breath in as we reach up through the left arm and then breathing out as you draw the shoulder back down into the floor. And the right arm, breathing in as you reach, breathing out as you draw the shoulder down. Breathing in to reach, breathing out to draw down, breathing in to reach, breathing out to draw down. So just feel the shoulder blade gliding on the back. Try not to lift through the rib cage or disturb the pelvis. Both arms together when you're ready. Breathing in to reach both arms. Breathing out to draw the shoulders down. Breathing in to reach. Breathing out to draw down. So again, this is a really lovely one for the shoulders. Quite similar to the press and release that you did in all fours. And again, it's going to release quite a lot of tension around the shoulders and the back of the neck. So again, a good one to practice. You've done a lot of sitting. Couple more. Keeping that good wrist alignment. Last one. Draw the shoulder blades down. And now turn the weights to face away from you. So towards your knees. And we're coming into what's called starfish. So this is also a stability exercise as well as working the shoulder stability too. So we're going to reach opposite arm and leg. Bit of coordination, I'm afraid. So take a breath in. And as you breathe out, take the right arm back over your head and slide the left leg away. So only take the arm back as far as you can maintain neutral and keep the back of the rib cage drawn down. Breathing in as you float the arm back up and slide the leg back in. And now breathing out as you change sides. Arm back, slide the leg. Breathing in as we draw back up. Breathing out as we change sides. And keep it going. So try and avoid scissoring the arms. One arm stays still as the other arm goes back over the head. And if you are struggling, keep the arms still and just work through the legs or let go of the weights. So we want good shoulder stability here. Try not to flare the rib cage and try and avoid disturbing the pelvis, maintaining neutral. So quite a lot happening here, quite a lot of concentration needed. Take your time. Let's balance ourselves out on each side. Float the arms back up and bring the legs back in. And now we're going to transition ourselves into a curl up using a rib cage closer. So if you prefer, you can just start with the arms here above the chest. But if you can, take a breath and breathe out as you take both arms back now into rib cage closer. Again, just as far as you can without arching the spine. And now taking a breath in as you start to float the arms back up. Breathing out as you tuck the chin, curl yourself up and just touch the weights to the front of the legs. Breathing in to hold and breathing out as we come back down. If you can, take the weights back all the way over the head again. Breathing in as we float up. As they pass over your head, breathe out, tuck the chin, curling up. Holding it there, breathing in. And out, taking it down. If you can, bringing the weights all the way back over the head. Keep going. Breathing in to float the arms. Breathing out, tuck the chin, curling up. Slide the rib cage down. Just enough centering that you stay stable through the pelvis. We're going to go for 8. We're coming up to number 4. If you're struggling, start with the arms above the head rather than taking them all the way back behind you, or let go of your weights. So we've got a longer lever with the arms reaching back, and you've got the load of the weights. So it is a lot of work. So take your time. Work wherever it feels comfortable for you. Ensure that you tuck the chin as you curl up. And keep breathing. Try and avoid holding your breath. Probably concentrating. I think I may have added one on, making this the last one. And we're going to curl ourselves up with this last one, and we're going to hold it there. So when you're ready, float the arms, tuck the chin, curling up, and we're going to hold the curl up now. Just going to work those abdominals. We're going to take the arms down alongside you and turn the weights up to face towards the ceiling. We're going to hold the curl up and come into bicep curls. So breathing in and out to curl the weights in towards you. Breathing in to reach them away. Breathing out to curl in. Breathing in to reach away. Try and go for 8 bicep curls. Try and stay in your curl up. Look through the legs and keep breathing. You can do it. Last 4. Working those arms, working those abdominals. Last couple. Reach the arms away for the last time and lower the upper body down with the weights. And you can just let go of the weights and have a little roll of the wrists. Shake it off a little bit there, well done. Whew. Nice big workout for those arms. So, if you would prefer, we've got one more exercise in this position. So if you'd like to, feel free to give the weights a little bit of a breather for this next one. But if you're happy, you can use them again. So we're going to come into arm flies now, which is opening up across the chest and working the pecs, the front of your shoulders. So if you're happy, taking those weights, bringing them back up again above you. Weights facing in towards each other, shoulder width apart. Again, just check that you haven't arched the upper spine off the floor. We're still in neutral. And we're going to take a breath in now as we open the arms out nice and wide into a big T shape as far as you can. And then breathing out as you draw the weight back up, shoulder width apart. Breathing in as you open into arm fly. Breathing out as we draw it back up. We're going to do one more and add to it. Breathing in to open. Breathing out as we draw those arms up. Hold it here. We're going to come into spine curl now. So taking a breath. Breathing out. Gently tilt the pelvis. Start to peel yourself away from the floor. Feeling the spine. Lifting through the hips and finding the height. Now breathe in again as you open the arms. Breathing out as you draw them back up. And taking the spine down as you breathe in. All the way down. Returning to neutral. Don't linger. Breathing out as you come back up. Peeling away. Working through the spine. Lifting the hips. And breathing in to open the arms again when you're ready. Breathing out to come up. Breathing in, taking it down, bone by bone. Pelvis back to neutral. And breathing out again as we come back up. Peeling away. Standing into the feet. Breathing in as we open. Breathing out, draw the arms up. Breathing in, take it down. We're going to do this one more time. Keep it going for this last one. Peeling away. Lifting those hips. Breathing in to open the arms one more time. Breathing out to come up. Breathing in, take it down. All the way. And breathing out, float those arms all the way down. Let go of your weights. And let's take that into a nice big full body stretch, I think, after those. Reach those arms back, legs away. And do a little bit of a hip hitch. So lifting one hip and then the other. Just switching sides. Getting a nice stretch through one side. A bit of a tug of war, nearly. Have a little roll of the wrists as well if you need to. Done really well. Couple of nice deep breaths. And let's float the arms down, tuck the feet back in. And now we're going to come onto our opposite side for our side twist again. So either just roll yourself over if you can, or sit yourself up for a moment to bring yourself round onto the other side. So again, you're just going to need one weight. And if you want a pillow or a rolled up towel, pop it underneath your forearm again. And we're going to tuck the feet back, roughly in line with your pelvis, the back edge of the mat. Making sure elbow is below shoulder again, so you've got that good alignment through the shoulder joints. Feel that you're trying to lift out of that shoulder, draw the rib cage away from the floor, holding onto your weight. Now, if you know that this side is a little bit weaker, I would stay down, don't lift the hips. But if you can, we're going to add the lift. So, when you're ready, let's lift those hips, reach the weight up towards the ceiling, take a breath in, and as you breathe out, we're going to thread it through, gently rotate. Breathing in as we reach back up, lift the hips, breathing out to thread it through. Breathing in as we reach, and breathing out to thread it through. Number 4, going for 8. Really lift those hips with you each time, or keep your hips down and still do the movement. Keep it going, supporting arm, working hard. Get that nice twist, follow the weight through. Last one. Last reach up, lower the hips down, arm coming down. And again, if you need to, just come up to roll off that supporting shoulder. We're going to come down onto that side again. And now lying yourself onto the floor. Stacking the legs into your right angle this time. So this is our rotation in the shoulder, our side lying dumb waiter. So you're going to lengthen through both sides of the body. Again, just lifting slightly out of the floor, drawing in through the center, holding onto your weight again, and tucking that arm in along top. Weight parallel to the floor. Checking that wrist alignment. Make sure you're not dropping the wrist or flipping it back. Breathing in and out as we gently rotate and open the arm. Breathing in as we bring that weight parallel to the floor. Breathing out again as we open. Breathing in to face the floor. Breathing out to open. Again, we're going for 8 of these. Avoid making it too big. It is tempting, but try not to make it too big. Just go as far as what your shoulder will let you. Keep that arm tucked in. Try and avoid flicking the wrist. Last couple. You'll be glad to know this is the last exercise with the weights, so finish that last one, pop it down, take the weights to one side because you won't need them again. Have a little roll of that shoulder if you need to. And from here we're going to roll onto our front for a nice bit of upper spine mobility, bit of extension. So you can move your weights out of the way, roll yourself onto your front. And we're going to come into a nice cobra. We'll do the cobra prep first, so the lower option first, and then if you want to, you can have a go at the full cobra. So hands into that wide W shape just outside of the mat, tucking the hands down roughly in line with your ears. Lengthen the legs out behind you, about hip width apart. Feel some energy through the legs, feel that you're lengthening out, reaching them behind you. Scooping the tummy in, gently drawing in and engaging the abdominals. So we're just going to mobilise the upper spine first of all, so a nice small movement to begin with. Take a breath in to prepare and breathing out as you roll the nose, lengthen out through the top of the head. Start to come out of the floor, feel that you're shining the breastbone forward and just coming towards the bottom of the ribcage. Breathing in as you hold it there, and breathing out as we come down and return to the floor. Let's do this 3 more times. Breathing in again, and breathing out, feeling length. Try not to push through the arms. Breathing in, and out. As you take it down. If you feel tense in the shoulders, maybe play with the position of the hands. And if you're feeling it in your lower back, really try and engage those abdominals. And maybe don't come up quite as far, you might be going a little bit too high. Keep those legs lengthened, glutes relaxed. Finish your last one. Bring it down. Feel free to stay here, work at the lower option if you need to. If you'd like to take it into the full cobra, now just open your legs a little bit wider. If you can, maybe about the width of your mat, and roll the heels in towards each other. So starting off as we did a moment ago, but now we're going to try and come all the way up. So taking a breath. Breathing out, roll the nose, lengthening out. Slide the breastbone forward and continue to come out of the floor. So bring your tummy out of the floor and then try and draw the front of your pelvis off the mat. Eyes forward, don't lift the head too high and avoid those shoulders creeping up around your ears. Hold it here, breathing in and breathing out. Soft elbows as you start to lower yourself down. Rib cage, chest and head. Back to the floor. And again, breathing in. And out, start to scoop the tummy in as you lengthen. Try and avoid using the arms until you really have to. Peeling yourself off the floor, front of the pelvis off the mat. Breathing in. And out, taking it down. Elbows, rib cage, and head. Let's try and go for 6 of these. If it's too much, stay at the cobra prep, do that lower level. It's not a push-up, so try and avoid using your arms. It's coming from the spine. Lengthen out the legs behind you at the same time. And you really want to avoid compressing down into that lumbar spine. So try and feel that lift through the front of the pelvis as you come out of the floor. This is such a lovely movement. There's one thing I'd recommend if you're doing a lot of sitting, working at a computer, try and do lots of extension exercises like this to take yourself out of that flexed and hunched position. Always lovely to do. Scoop the tummy in, front of the pelvis, out of the mat. One more. I may have added one on. Never a bad thing. Finishing your last one. Controlling it down all the way. Return to the floor. Let's bring the legs in. Tuck the hands in so that you can then just press yourself up and back to sit into your rest position one more time. Sit yourself back. If you need a pillow, grab it for behind the knees or underneath your forehead. And if you'd like a little bit of a release for the shoulders, feel free to take the arms down by your side. Turn those palms up to face the ceiling. Press your forehead down. And let's just hold this for a moment. Take some nice deep breaths, focusing into the back of the rib cage. Done a lot of work in those shoulders, so try and just let go of the weight of the arms in this position. Relax the hands and the arms. Release the shoulders. And just take some deep breaths. With your next breath out, just slowly start to roll yourself up. Again, stacking the spine on top of the pelvis. Lengthening up. And we're going to finish in sitting. So if you need to grab a block or a pillow to sit on, grab it now. And you can either sit with the legs crossed or into your long frog position, whichever feels more comfortable. And just take a moment to feel equal weight over your sitting bones and lengthening up through the spine. So we've done a lot of work for the shoulders and the upper body. We just get a little bit of rotation now for the spine, just to loosen off a little bit before we finish. So we're going to stack the arms into our Cossack position. So one arm on top of the other. Elbows can be lower than the shoulders, so you can relax those shoulders down the back. And just watch that you don't end up leaning back with the weight of your arms. So keep yourself stacked over the hips, lengthen up through the spine. So for the waist twist, we want the movement to come from the spine rather than the arms leading the movement. So I want you to think about looking with your eyes first and then letting head, neck and spine follow into the twist. So let's take a breath in. And as you breathe out, look to the right, let your head turn, and then your neck and your spine follow round into a nice gentle twist. Breathing in as you return to the center, and breathing out as we now look to the left, turning head, neck, and spine into the twist. Breathing in again as we return to the center. And again, breathing out to the right, head, neck, spine, keeping the arms in front of your chest. Breathing into the center. And breathing out to twist. Let's do one more on each side. Try and feel a sense of length as you twist, almost like you are spiraling up and round. Staying out of those hips. Finishing your last one, bringing it back to the center. Floating those arms down. And just have a nice gentle roll of the shoulders. Bring them up to the ears and draw them down the back. Loosening off after all that work that you've done with the weights. Lovely. And just let those arms settle. Rest the hands down and bring the back of your hands to rest on the floor next to you. Just relax those shoulders. Let them draw down the back. Feel the weight of your arms drawing the shoulders down. And just take some deep breaths. Breathing in through the nose, out through the mouth. And just try and let go of any lasting tension. Feel the breath expanding into the rib cage. Pushing the breath out to help you relax. One more deep breath. And well done. We are finished. Hope those arms and shoulders feel okay. That you had a good workout this evening.